Hello, I'm Zara Batstra, and welcome to the Eternal Cavern, and welcome to the Eternal Cavern, and welcome to the Eternal Cavern, and welcome to the Eternal Cavern. Oh, sorry about that. There's a bit of an echo in here. Anyway, I've been watching book-related videos for about 2 years, and I really just enjoyed watching for the most part up until recently. I've been thinking about talking about different books that I've read myself, and I guess I just read a really powerful book that I just have to talk about. Not that I have anything scholarly to say about it, but I just have something to say. I'd like to share it with you. And that book is The Painted Bird, written by Jerzy Kosinsky. It was published in 1965. I found it at my local half-price books just for like $2, and I never heard of it before. The title really jumped out at me. The cover art was very vivid, and so I picked it up. And I read it almost immediately because I was so curious about it. So, for me, scary things are very disturbing to me, and I don't like them. But this book is pretty scary, but it's not gratuitous at all. So it follows this boy who was left by his parents during the Second World War, during the Nazi occupation. So his parents left him with someone because they thought they would not survive, and they wanted their son to survive. And this book just follows this boy from place to place as he tries to survive in various different villages amongst very diverse and disturbed cast of characters. The thing that got to me the most wasn't the disturbing parts, but just the way the boy was treated all along because he looked different. That just resonated with me because I don't look like everyone else around me, and it has affected me quite a lot in my life, and I don't think it's ever something I'll ever get over. So just to have that expressed in a novel really meant a lot to me. Even though I connected with the story, I don't think I would have liked it as much if the writing wasn't really good. The way the story is told is just masterful. When the boy goes to a new village, a new story starts, and just each story's set up really well, and all the elements come together in a chaotic climax, and then after the chaos has resolved, the boy moves on to another village, and that just keeps going through the book. It is done really well, and it's not just gruesome stories for the sake of telling gruesome stories. The boy takes something from each experience, or experience that he witnesses, for good or bad, and it affects him in some way. And yeah, you're left wondering at the end how seeing all this depravity and horror could affect the young mind, and how it'll turn out, and you hope for the best, but it's, it's not always good in real life. Usually the cycle of abuse keeps on cycling. So that's just the reality of it. Well, one theme is about revenge. I think it's an important message. Revenge, blindly taking on someone or some people just because they belong to a certain group. So there's this story where a soldier that the boy is under the care of goes out to take revenge on some villagers that killed some of his friends because they were jealous of the soldiers being around the women. And the villagers lashed out at these men, and not knowing whether or not those were the men that were, violating their women. So they killed those soldiers, and then the soldier with the boy wanted to take revenge on the villagers, and he was just sitting in a tree and picking off random villagers as they got up in the morning. And, they could be or could not be one of the people that killed his friends. It didn't seem to matter to him. It was just, they were part of the village. And earlier in the boy's life, he was terrorized by a dog, where every day he was scared that the dog would attack him and, kill him. And he lived with that terror for a long time. So as they were sitting in the tree waiting for the villagers to come out so that the soldier could pick them off, a dog wandered outside. Just a random dog, and the boy wanted the soldier to take revenge on that dog because of the previous dog's actions towards the boy. And the soldier showed more sympathy towards a random dog than to the random villagers, human beings. Then he refused to kill the dog. So it was that was a powerful story for me. Just how little human life can mean to people, to where, to just kill someone in place of someone else just to make themselves feel better, whether or not that person is guilty, but wouldn't think of being that cruel to a dog. So this book is pretty hard to read. It contains a lot of disturbing content, so if you think of anything disturbing, this book pretty much has it in the pages, except for cannibalism. There's no cannibalism. Other than that, strong trigger warnings for everything else. So proceed at your own risk, but to me, the experience was worth it. I am starting to work my way through Jerzy Kosinsky's works, so I've read a couple other things by him. To me, this is his best work, but I have only read 3 well, let's see, 2 other fictions and 1 nonfiction by him. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do a whole video on Jerzy Kosinsky books, like ranking them. So usually I don't like kids in books because they're depicted as extra special or extra clever or just annoying overall. And so I was hesitant to start this book, but the child in the book is not any of those things. The way he expresses his thoughts is imaginative in the way a kid's mind would work. So I'll read you a passage. So in the beginning of the book, the boy was trapped in the ground because it was supposedly a cure for his fever. And while he was trapped in the ground, some birds were harassing him and picking at him. And at first he was able to scare them away, but when they realized he was defenseless, he didn't have his arms or he couldn't run away, they kept poking at him. And at one point he started to give up, and this is how he described it. My strength ebbed. To move my head each time seemed like shifting a huge sack of grain from one place to another. I was crazed and saw everything as through a miasmal fog. I gave up. I was myself now, a bird. I was trying to free my chilled wings from the earth. Stretching my limbs, I joined the flock of ravens. Borne abruptly up on a gust of fresh, reviving wind, I soared straight into a ray of sunshine that lay taut on the horizon like a drawn bowstring, and my joyous cawing was mimicked by my winged companions. So, I really liked the imagery in that passage. It was just beautiful just to, imagine him freeing himself and being able to fly away. But it's also a way, when you're powerless and unable to fight back or to change what's happening. That passage is a way to describe how one just escapes in their mind to get a break from the unpleasant situation. A lot of times children have no reprieve other than within themselves, and a lot of people who are in bad situations find that kind of escape also. So I was thinking that The Painted Bird is similar in construction to Perfume by Patrick Suskind, where it's a child who is in the care of different adults, and that is episodic. The only difference is really that The Painted Bird only follows the boy for during the war, which was 5 years, and Perfume starts from the guy's birth to the end of his life. So the writing in The Painted Bird is really beautiful, and I also think that the writing in Perfume is beautiful, but I don't know, there's just a difference. Like in The Painted Bird, it is beautiful in a way that it evokes a feeling in me as the reader, and where in perfume is just pretty phrases for the sake of just being artistic. Not to say that the painted bird isn't artistic. I think it's I would say it's a masterpiece. It's just not showy or flowery like perfume is. So, but yeah, if you like Perfume, the book, you might like The Painted Bird. It's you know, there's some disturbing stuff in Perfume, and so if you can handle Perfume, you probably could handle The Painted Bird. For now, that's all I have to say on The Painted Bird, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.